Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new here, and welcome back to one of the final days of 31 days of December. We're coming to an end. It is the end of the month, end of 2018, if you can believe that. Today I thought I would just take the time to sit down and tell you a story about my childhood, and it'll be probably a really quick story. There isn't really much to go on, but it is an experience that I did have as a young child that has baffled me and will continue to do so for probably the rest of my life. So when this first started, I believe I was in grade 3, maybe. And the way that my little town is set up is that the elementary school is kind of like off and down a road, and you have to walk past the hospital and then up another road, and then you turn and make a right to get to the rec center and the pool. And you have to walk past a couple of like really old houses. And so one day my class was heading, I think we were heading to the pool for our swimming lessons that were happening that summer, beginning of the summer, end of school year. And I decided that I was going to walk with a couple of my best friends, and they were a year older than me. So we were a 2-3 split class. So maybe I was in grade 2, one of the two. And we're walking along, and my one friend looks at me and he goes, "Hey, have you heard about the woman who lives in that house?" Now, the house that he was talking about was across from the ball diamond that was right next to the rec center and the pool. And it was this old one-level rancher-style house that had a big set of like 3 windows at the front of the house, the front door, and then another smaller window off to the side. And this house, as long as we had ever known, had been abandoned, and nobody lived in it. Nobody was taking care of it. It was run down, and it just existed. And I was like, "No, what do you mean? Like, nobody lives there. What are you talking about?" And he kind of laughed, and he looked at me and he said, "No, there is a lady in white that lives there." And I looked at him and I was like, "You're joking. Like, why are you trying to scare me? This isn't funny." And he said, "No, there really is a lady in white there. She always stands in the window and she never moves." And I looked at him and I was like, "Are you okay?" And he kind of like brushed it off and whatever. So we went about our day. We went to the pool. We did our swimming lessons. The year went by, walked past that house many times, biked past that house. He actually lived down the street from it. So to get to his house, we had to go by it, and just a lot of things. We were just used to the fact that this house existed in town. And it wasn't until about 2 years later when I was again going with my class to our yearly swimming lessons, and we were walking back to school this time around. So we were walking back in like our little groups, and I remember walking down, and we had to like walk through the parking lot. So you walked directly at where this house was, and then you turned to go down the road to the school. And we're walking down the parking lot, and I stopped dead in my tracks, because sure enough, in the window, standing in between the 2 curtains, was this woman in all white. And she was just standing there staring at us. And I remember looking at her and getting a really creepy feeling. I wasn't necessarily scared. I was just creeped out. Because I hadn't been thinking about it since then. Like he had told us the story, and we just kind of all brushed it off and went about our lives. So nobody really had thought about this woman, had thought about the place being haunted or anything like that. And then all of a sudden there she was. And the girl that I was walking with, I remember actually kind of made a comment about seeing somebody. And then when we looked at each other and we were talking about it, we looked back, she was gone and the one curtain was moving. So I went home that day and I remember telling my mom about this. And I said, like, Mom, does anybody actually live there? Like, is this a house that actually is inhabited, or am I just crazy? And she looked at me and she said, no, nobody's lived in there for years. It's just there. So that made me kind of really concerned. And I know it made my mom a little bit concerned too. And I think at that point she had mentioned to a couple people after that somebody had been seen in the house, because it was private property still. You don't want people trespassing. You don't want people squatting. And of course, if there was somebody in there, they obviously might need help. So they did that. Nothing ever came of it. Nobody ever found anyone. Nobody ever saw anyone. And eventually the house actually got bulldozed and burnt to the ground. I don't know why. I actually have no idea why that happened. I don't know what the story was behind the house to begin with. I just know that now there is nothing but this big gravel pit on the lot where the house used to be. And this woman has been seen twice by people that I know since the house has been bulldozed, and just on the lot, period. What she wants, what her purpose is, I have no idea. And like I said, we never ever got a creepy feeling from this. Well, we never got a scary feeling from this place. We've never gotten a scary feeling from this place, just a creepy feeling. And just like somebody is watching you and that somebody is there and they exist in this space. I don't know. I'd really like to hear your guys' theories about who she was and why she might be predominantly presenting herself to the kids, because a lot of the adults that I know have never seen her. I remember driving by, talking to my dad about it one day, and he had never heard or seen anything. He had told me a couple of stories about what happened in the basement there, but it was not anything actually bad. Like, there were no dark rituals. There was no anything that happened in this place that would cause for concern. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's very interesting. I'd really like to hear your guys' theories as to why you think this lady in white was only presenting herself to children, what her intent might have been, considering it didn't seem malicious to any of us at the time, and why so many of us actually saw her. Do you think it was just because we had passed the story throughout everybody and it was our overactive imaginations? Or do you think that she actually existed on some plane enough to show us? Please leave me a comment below. I would love to hear your theories. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. It would make me so happy if you would. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you can get told every time I upload a video. Because once we hit the new year, I will be uploading every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for the foreseeable future. I will catch you guys in the next video.